Don't come to the club and start talking about what we've done in the past. Talk about what you haven't done anything.
Who's going to try this season?
I said this season. You ain't got to show me.
This is like...
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to another episode of Podcast Pundits. I'm Drayman, back in the hosting duties for today, and I'll be joined by a full room with me. All the hosts, all the other pundits are here with me today. But before I get into that, obviously, Drayman, avid Man United fan, but it's probably a good thing Man United are not playing this week. It's international duty, so I don't have to stress about Man United. But before I get into all the furniture stuff, let's go around the rooms who I've got with us. Marley Ma
here, Man United supporter. International week. I was going to say England supporter, but not really. And you know, it's when there's a tournament on, yeah, England supporter. But otherwise, international football is so dead. But I think we can all agree with that. That's the case. They need to change it at this point, boy. No one is watching international football. He says while he's watching France versus Israel. Mind you.
Fair play, bro. It's ball with it, so we just want to watch something. Moving on, De La Strada.
Yes, De La Strada, the man of many clubs, the man of the streets, you know the jazz. I don't really care for internationalism, but I like it because it allowed me to do some live badminton. So that's what I was doing this weekend still.
Fair play. Moving on, Joey.
Yeah, man, at this time of year, man, you just got to focus on your friends and family, man. But for those that don't know me, it's your boy Joey Nomadic, a.k.a. Liverpool's #1 supporter. Wait for Liverpool to come back and right their wrongs.
Well, you know what? I thought you were going to say, for those that don't have no friends or family, they should do something else.
Yo.
This guy's a fucking jerk, bro.
Yeah.
Fucking Arsenal.
And then moving on, he's wearing his Nigeria shirt, Strives.
Yeah, man, it's your boy Strives, or you can call me Striver. As you know, when it's international duty, I'm always representing Nigeria. And I'm representing England as well, but I ain't got no up-to-date, relevant England jerseys. But when it's regular programming, as you man all know, I'm an avid, die-hard Arsenal fan. And yeah, man, international duty, international break. I'm guessing we're going to chop it up international. And hopefully get into a little bit of club affairs as well, man. So I'm here, man.
For sure.
Hey, how am I sounding? I don't even know. How am I sounding? Can you guys hear me?
I can hear a bit of an echo, but I didn't know where it was.
Yeah,
no,
I thought as much. I think my studio setup is glitching. As you guys know, I'm missing my equipment at the moment. So yeah, sorry, listeners and viewers, just bear with me, please.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Strives, what you can do is you can maybe try turn down your speakers just a tad, and then that might resolve it. But this is just me thinking on the fly. But whilst he does that, you can you can find us on Insta at Podcast Pundits _. On X is the same, so at Podcast Pundits _ and on TikTok is at Podcast Pundits. Obviously, only the first place to start is England 3, Wales 0. Morgan Rogers, Ollie Watkins, and Saka all on target at Wembley for the friendly win against Wales. I think the main thing for me to start off with is Tuchel is happy to leave out the big names like Jude Bellingham, but it's continuing to pay off. Is that a good thing for England in terms of not just filling places with high-profile names that a lot of managers have done before, just picking players that he feels that can do the job best, put it out to the floor?
It seems like most England managers that come into the job, they all seem to do something like radical change to kind of set precedent on their tenure. Because Southgate didn't. Who did Southgate drop? Was it Sterling? I know he dropped Sterling like later on. He played Sterling probably early on. But I feel like there was a high profile name like Southgate.
I think it was Sterling, because Sterling was like one of the best performers. Was it in one of the tournaments? alongside
I think
Harry Kane,
that's,
playing great goals, and then he just got dropped from one of the next tournaments.
Yeah, it feels
No,
like
that was it was. I think it was the Euros, or it was not the last tournament, just gone, the one before that. Sterling was carrying Harry Kane. Remember, Harry Kane wasn't that good, but Sterling was banging goals. Then he got dropped for the next tournament. But when Southgate first came, he was playing Sterling. To be fair, he did give him a good run.
Well, maybe I'm wrong then. I mean, yeah, but Bellingham hasn't really been playing for Real Madrid, so I think it wasn't surprising. It's probably the one player that they could probably afford to lose because their system would work without Jude Bellingham, in my opinion. I feel like Jude Bellingham's one of them tricky players that he's just like, where do you play him? Like where's the best place to play him, because it's pretty much unconventional. So in that sense, it's not surprising. The only surprising thing with regard to the England team was the fact that Wharton wasn't in the team, and he's obviously playing well for Palace at the minute.
Yeah,
so that was the only real surprise for me for England. But I mean, I wasn't really following it.
Is there an argument that Bellingham should just be in the squad anyway because of his ability? I mean, I wouldn't push that argument, but like when you have players who are rated at a certain level, should they just be a part of your squad anyway?
Like Jordan Henderson.
Exactly, bro.
Well, I think that for like man like Saka, and Tuchel was saying some madness like Saka was lucky to be in the squad because of his injuries or something like that. And I thought that was I started thinking to myself, this manager's on sabotage. And maybe all the critics were right when they said you shouldn't have hired a German to be the England manager because, well, what a crock of crap. What do you mean?
Oh, why? Why'd you say that?
Because if Saka's fit, he plays, bro. If Saka's available, he's in the team. There's certain players that they're just in the team. Like.
Yeah, and then is that not the same for Bellingham then?
Probably, which is why which is why when Marley Marl is asking a question about it, there seems to be a trend, or when he's making an observation that there seems to be a trend that England managers do something radical. Yeah, there might be some credence in that, because I mean, why are you admitting him from the squad, like the entire squad? You know what I mean?
Who, Bellingham?
Yeah.
He's been injured. He was injured,
but he's been
man.
back from injury though.
Well, how many games?
I think maybe one or two, not that many. But I think to Strives' point, if he's of a certain level, like Saka, who obviously Saka's been back for more games, but a lot of people have said that Saka isn't fully back to sharpness or full fitness. So if he was dropped, I would understand it on that grounds. But I do see where you're coming from, where your top players should be there, whether they're fully fit or not to a certain extent.
But the second one's probably because there's no one to play on the right hand side. If Madueke was still around, then maybe he wouldn't doesn't bring Saka back straight away. But then you got Bowen.
Yeah, that's what I was
implying. I think he was implying.
Yeah,
Madueke weren't injured. Madueke would have been playing, and Saka probably wouldn't have got the call up. But I think you're an idiot for that. You're an absolute twat.
I think you're right, Strauss, because obviously I've got here on my notes as well. He has become, Saka is like probably England's most consistent performer at Tuchel anyway. So I'm not sure the correlation of why he would think to leave him out. Only reason is maybe he's getting. Yeah, but is it just that maybe he's gonna get some stress from Arteta about it? Maybe that.
No, I think he's just trying to. I don't know. He's trying to like what Marley Mar's saying. I think he's just trying to be radical, man. Just relax, man.
Stamp his authority. But do you think there's something else to it why Bellingham's not in the squad? Because I'm just kind of like harking my mind back to when Southgate tried to sub him off, and then Bellingham just set that record straight and played the rest of the game.
Yeah, I think with Bellingham, I mean, obviously you can only read too much into the reports that you hear, but it seems like, I mean, his what you hear is that his PR team and his team around the Bellingham brand at the minute is very, very over empowering.
Especially with the brother, with Joby as well, isn't it?
Exactly. And at the minute, I think with the England setup that obviously Gareth Southgate was able to cultivate, was that it was a team environment, that no one's bigger than essentially the team. And with the Bellingham stardom and the brand that Bellingham is, I think I could hear the argument whereby someone would say that takes away from what we've been building as a team unit with England. But I mean, that's all speculation, isn't it? It might be nonsense, but yeah, that might be a reason.
I think it is personal. I think the media are trying to create something that isn't there because they keep on asking him the question about Bellingham, and he's like, "Well, I didn't pick him the last time because he was injured, and now I didn't pick him. But guess what? I also didn't pick Grealish or Foden. Like, there's players I haven't picked, so stop trying to make something out of it that there isn't there."
I would say Grealish was a little bit of a shock as well because he's like banging form, so I was a bit confused by that as well. Because you're definitely not going to pick him when he's not in form, but now he's banging for Everton and he's consistently playing every game. He still doesn't even want to put him in.
Yeah, who started for England and left? Was it Gordon, innit?
Gordon, then
Gordon, yeah, that's right, yeah.
What was the score? 3-0?
3-0, yeah, 3-0.
Yeah, comfortable game for England. And was that a qualifier? Was that the game in friendly? Or
No, that was friendly. That was friendly. Yes.
And the qualifiers on Tuesday. Oh, I mean,
yeah. So again, I would have thought that would have been the game to bring in players like probably Grealish in and try them out.
But when you say that, after you got Gordon, you got Rashford, and you got Eze who can play on the left. England's got a strong squad. So sometimes players are going to get left out, and I don't think it's much that's been made about it. It obviously depends on certain positions. Let's say in midfield, the only thing I'll question is, and Monty Mars mentioned it, is the fact that Walton's not in the squad. That one's a big miss because Walton can play in the squad. Obviously he's playing Elliot, but I don't think Elliot's not a 6, but he's playing him in the 6 role. But you can play. Is it Elliot? What's the guy from
Elliot.
Elliot Anderson. So
Oh, Anderson.
Anderson. I'm not calling it. Yeah, Anderson. He's not really a 6. But Tuchel's playing him there. You can play Walton there instead, but. I personally don't understand how Walton is not getting to the squad. And I keep on mentioning Jordan Henderson. He's obviously there for other things that he can bring to the game because he's the most senior player for England. So to some extent, I can understand why he's there if I have to justify it. Me personally, I wouldn't take him there. But yeah, you got Walton who can be playing there instead of him.
Is Henderson there as a 6 as well? Because he's not even a 6.
Yeah, I think he's there as a 6. He's not there.
But he has been in good form, man.
Yeah,
he has been in good form.
And that's the future.
Walton's been in way better, and he's an 8. So I don't understand why you would, like you said, why you'll bring extra 8s when you can bring 6s. But yeah.
When you talk about England, you just like your head just like, oh.
No. To be fair, it's more international.
Yeah.
It's more international than, but yeah.
Feels weird. Let's talk about. Sorry, I don't want. I'm not going to.
TK.
No, I was going to talk about. Obviously, Nigeria's probably more. That's more of a hot topic, and he's wearing the Nigeria top. So
it's true.
What did you?
Yeah.
How did you lot do?
Nigeria, man. Nigeria's moving a bit mad, in my opinion. Like, why I say Nigeria's moving mad? Like, we're the finalists, AFCON finalists, It's a given you would expect that Nigeria would qualify for the World Cup, but we are really on the ropes at the moment.
Yeah.
We've been given a little bit of a lifeline, a bit of a lifeline because South Africa's had points stopped. I don't know what's going on with Ethiopia. I think they're out. They're out, or I don't know, something like that. I think they're already eliminated. It's just, I don't know. There's a corruption in Africa. There's always corruption somewhere because some stuff I just can't make sense of. Like, but it's like the stars are somewhat kind of aligning for us to maybe scumbag our way into qualification. But we basically need to win all of our games. So this game that we played against, I always struggle to pronounce their team, Lesotho or something.
Lesotho.
Team. They ain't really got nothing to play for, but bro, like the same way that they held us to a draw. The first time we played them, they're playing for their lives, bro. They're not qualified. They are not qualified, but they're playing for their lives. Cool. However, they're garbage, bro. Like, but Nigeria, in my opinion, even though we dominated the game, we're equally garbage, in my opinion. Like we're getting to the final third of the pitch. Lookman is spamming crosses in, but like to no effect. We're trying to do through balls. We're overhitting passes, underhitting passes. The final ball in the final third. The quality of the final ball in the final third of the pitch was absolutely atrocious. Pretty much every time. Like Osimhen, I know we got an assist and stuff like that, and he's he's meant to be like our flagship bearer striker.
Yeah.
I just don't get him, you know. Like I don't think he's done enough to put himself in the like Nigerian Hall of Fame performers. He might, I don't know how many goals he's got. He might be up there as, I don't know. He might even be our top goal scorer. I don't know. I need to double check. Or he's on his way to being, but he hasn't got no moments. He hasn't got anything that's going to stamp himself in our team. And every time I watch him for Nigeria, I don't see a former African World Player of the Year. I'm watching Lookman. Yeah. I know he's African Footballer of the Year, and I'm like, I can see he's trying to do jinky here and there, but again, I'm not seeing European Lookman. Iwobi, who he's been quite impressive in the Premier League. I don't see that Iwobi for Nigeria. In fact, you know who seems to step up? The guy from my neighborhood, Ekong.
Oh, we're gonna say
penalty taker.
Yeah, penalty taker. He steps up. One guy, Adams, who scored, I think it was his debut. His goal seemed a bit clean. Moses Simons, or the Simons, however you want to pronounce his name, he always looks jinky when he's on the ball. He looks exciting, but bros, nothing's happening like Nigeria is. Like, we're dead, man.
Yeah, that's what I struggle with Nigeria, because it's like I see who they're playing when they're qualifiers in their friendly games, and it's like they're the teams I don't even recognize. Like, and you look at the final results, it's like, how have Nigeria struggled in this? It's very, very it's strange. Like, and you start to wonder, like, what is it corruption, or is it the management?
It's a story of squandered resources, bro, man. 100%, bro, man.
Yeah.
100. Like, that's the only story you'll get. But sorry, Stravs. Osimhen is 5 + 7. My maths is going crazy. 13 goals off of the Nigerian record. Rashidi Yekini's record holder, 37 in 62.
But you see, Yekini, when you think of Yekini, you can think of moments. You can attribute him to great squads. With Osimhen.
But he's has Osimhen won anything with Nigeria? I don't think so. Yekini is obviously won legendary Atlanta 90.
If he's won an AFCON or whatnot,
I don't think he's won an AFCON. No.
But you see the thing with records, yeah. You said obviously Yekini has got 37 goals, but even in this day and age, I think there's a lot more internationals now than there were in previously. That hence why, for example, Giroud is France's all-time goal scorer and ahead of Thierry Henry. Like, how many games did France?
No, in Osimhen's defense, he's got 25 and 40, which is a decent record.
That is a decent return.
But what's Yekini's?
Yekini's is 37 in 62, which is also 0.63 rate, and Osimhen is 0.61.
Yeah, it's
not Dre, don't worry. I don't remember Yekini either. Don't worry.
Yekini.
There you go.
Rashidi Yekini.
Because
he's
even
he's like Andreas Karisteas, man.
Karisteas. That's it.
Same level.
Yes, like Memphis Depay is Holland's all-time goal scorer and assister. And you're like, how?
Is it both? Shit, yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot more internationals now in Europe than there were back in the day. So it's a bit.
Yeah.
I hear what Strives is saying though. I think he's like, with Nigeria, they have like Eagle superstars that you could just roll off the tongue, like you're like your etc.
Legends,
Go on, give us some, Dre.
Go, keep going. Somebody called the police on this road.
Then Estrada's moving like freaking HMRC, bro.
Yeah, exactly, literally.
And what about Greece? What about Greece? Is Greece qualified, or how they getting on?
No, I doubt it, man.
Okay.
Them glory days are long gone, boy.
Yeah, exactly, man. Yes. Winning the Euros was more than enough, man.
That's huge, though, man.
Yeah, exactly. So
they lost to Scotland and Greece.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not surprised.
But Greece they beat England, right? In one of undoubtedly.
Yeah, they did. They did.
Was it friendly?
I remember. I can't remember if it was friendly or what, but it was at Wembley. I think they won.
That's one with the
2-1
manager, right?
Yeah.
2-1 in 2024. Yeah,
and they actually played all right that game. So yeah, I don't know. It's always hit and miss. Like with internationals, I'm Yeah, for me, it's like a
What,
week.
England's qualified now, or do England still have to win some games?
I thought they're qualified.
I think they qualified a long time ago, you know.
They
I
either
think
qualified or they get qualified.
Yeah, in this run, yeah. So have you seen Sweden? Sweden I didn't realize Sweden was so bad, bro.
The team has to be decent, you know.
Yeah, they're bottom of their league with 1 point. Sweden.
Did you see? I don't know. Some Don posted in the group when Liverpool and it was basically Bloods and Crips linking up. You know when they were both holding the red and blue flag.
Yeah.
But basically, like Arsenal and Liverpool fans came to hate watch, but they United how bad the Gyökeres is and Isak were together in that game. Bro.
Yeah, bro, they lost.
Apparently, they both stunk, boy.
They lost again today, bro, to Kosovo.
Yeah. Today?
Yeah, today. Yeah, they lost 1-0.
Wow.
In the bottom of the table.
I think
They lost
maybe
2
the
games in a
managers.
row.
What's it? Yeah, John Dal Thomason. I don't know what he's doing then because
Oh, is that their manager?
Yeah.
that team's meant to be decent, man.
John,
they got a
he
couple
was
players
Danish. Danish,
Yeah,
right?
Danish. Yeah,
Yeah.
Danish.
Yeah.
Newcastle, AC Milan.
AC Milan, I remember him at. But sorry, back to England though. Sorry, you were saying about Morgan Rogers, bruv, because he was getting bare stick in the press. Gabriel and Ogbonna saying like once you've got into a certain level, you can't motivate yourself to play for the Euros, and these men have like they're basically just not able to motivate themselves to play. But now Aston Villa win 2 games in a row, bro. The tune is changing, bro.
Gabby chat's shit, man.
Yeah, exactly. He's just trying to create.
So what sense does that even make?
no sense at all. You know, it is like because when he's on the panel, bro, he's the professional in it. So the other people know because they can't really argue with him in it. They can offer their opinion, but as the professional expert, like when he's saying like I've been there before, and then what can you say, bro? When a professional saying they've been there before, bro?
The certain level for sure. Anyway.
Oh, you've cut out, Dre.
Your sound went, Dre.
Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I was just saying that England haven't conceded at Wembley for a year as well. So is it to do with Pickford or is it just to do with England having a strong back line?
Who they played? So that's what it comes down to as well.
Yeah, I think it's
That's true. In their group,
Pickford's actually good though, you know. Like for England, you realize that how good he actually. Like I would take Pickford at Man United in a heartbeat. I'll be on it. Yeah.
When you say he's really good, what?
Do I think he's better? I think he's just similar, but I would have Pickford over Ramsdale. I think, but I think they're equally as loony.
Yeah, they're both loony for sure.
If that makes sense.
What about Pope? Is Pope English? He's Pope's English, isn't it?
Yeah. But Pope
So
is
would
alright.
you say he's better than Pope?
Ramsdale.
No,
Pickford. I don't know how good Nick Pope is. You know,
he's a good keeper, but you don't expect anything other than saving shots. If that makes
I would not put him above
that's
Pickford.
exactly how I would probably describe Pickford as well.
No, Pickford is okay. He's okay with the ball at his feet.
But he's a good keeper as well, though. He's actually decent.
Pope isn't that good in terms of distribution, to be fair, but Pickford is a good shot stopper. There's not that much between them in terms of their ability to stop shots, but I don't think Pope has done enough to dislodge Pickford in terms of who's a better keeper. I like Ramsdale as well in terms of being a good keeper and actual distribution, but I think there's a stigma about him in his concentration in the game.
Yeah, I think so. Because I agree with Marley Marr that Pickford is actually decent, but then I do sometimes question how has he kept his position. Like he's almost like a mainstay in the team, the way like David Seaman used to be a mainstay in the team. And I've always wondered, like, why is that?
But Southgate was loyal to him. Southgate was loyal to him, even when
massively.
Like Ramsdale could have probably ousted him because he was doing work for Arsenal. He just maintained the faith in him.
But also a critical, I would say, element of being a keeper is actually just being settled in your team, like and knowing that you're going to start, because you have to have a certain level of composure as being a goalkeeper, and he gets that with Everton because he's number one. No one's going to replace him in a minute, and obviously with England as well. And that assurance it seeps into your performances as well. I think a new keeper coming into the England setup, he has to prove himself. He's going to have the jitters naturally. and you only have to make one mistake at international level before you're out. You're out the door,
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
thing,
yeah.
innit?
Do you think that's how it should be though? Because I think that's how it should be for every position to be. Not just
international.
England. No, not even just at England, at club level as well. I think you need to come in and dislodge the person who has their position.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think a bad performance is when I would understand that a change needs to be made. And I don't think I think pulling, like for instance, pulling someone out of a team that is, for instance, scored 2 goals or in the last game because you're playing another team, you think this player might be better for your system. I think you play that player, they're hot.
Yeah. Give them a chance to fail, bro, at least before. Yeah.
I think sometimes you need to play. Yeah, you need to pick the right players for the right games, irrelevant of how well they do.
Also true.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But if it's like a player that's just come to the team and you've only seen them on the training ground, like let's say for example you got let me give an Arsenal example. You got Urian Timber playing at right back. He's starting now, and you've just bought Ben White. You want to see what Ben White can do in the game. Are you just going to take him off? I don't mind if you're taking him off because he's played a lot of games and there's fatigue. But I wouldn't want my manager to take off Urian Timber just because it's a different opponent. Because I feel like somebody like Urian Timber can play against every opponent in the league. There isn't any, and he can play in any kind of system as well, in my opinion. So like, whether you're going super defensive or you're going super attacking, Urian Timber's the guy. So I wouldn't want Ben White to start until Urian Timber has shown that he's not the guy.
Yeah,
but sometimes you've got to rotate and rest.
What would that mean for things such as like squad rotation and keeping your squad fresh?
Exactly, but if it comes for fatigue reasons, maybe you play 3 games in a week, then that's fine. But you're gonna have to do something very, very insane, like maybe create 3 goals and score 3 in the same game, for me to say now that Ben White should take over from Urian Timber, or you're playing your next big game, you're playing Real Madrid in the Champions League, this is a game for Ben White or something. Do you know what I mean?
Are you kind of taking this stance based on like obviously your experience as a Liverpool fan this season, where you've seen guys break into the team and maybe they've dislodged people that they shouldn't have? Not yet.
No. So that's always been my stance, because even when we signed Kirkers before, on the first day of the season, you remember you lot were having your conversations about is Havertz going to start over Gyökeres or whatever. Yeah. Even though I because for me Havertz wasn't a striker, that's why I felt like Gyökeres should start. But I was saying the same thing on Liverpool's first game of the season where Kirkers started over Robertson. I was like, I get that Robertson maybe had a couple games where he was shaky last season, but with all due respect, he's won the league and he was a mainstay in the team that won the league. So I think he should be given the opportunity to fail before you start putting Kirkers in. I understand that you want to get Kirkers acclimatized to playing at Liverpool and all that kind of stuff, but really and truly, what's the rush, man? Like, let something go. Don't fix what's not broken. And I don't think Robertson was broken enough. But people in my Liverpool group will disagree with me. Havertz wasn't broken, but he's not a striker.
He is.
Whereas I know, but no, obviously, that's calm. But in terms of why I understood the argument from Arsenal fans is because technically he's not a striker, but yeah.
But how would it work though, Joey? Because obviously internationals, what would you do? Would you take a player that probably hasn't played for England before, but is in great form for their club?
Yeah,
someone with experience, for instance, that's like a regular for England, but maybe.
Yeah, okay. So let's say, for example, Man United sign Ramsdale, and Ramsdale was balling out for Man United, and Pickford's at Everton, and he's having howlers. For international, I think you go based off of a mix of how they've been performing for England and how they're performing for the club, which is usually what it is, to be fair. But for some reasons, not even for some reason, I understand completely, there's a spine that you don't really want to upset. But I think I wouldn't be inclined to upset the England spine until maybe Pickford has had a howler for England. Yeah. And then I'd say, because even when Southgate kept Maguire in the squad, obviously loads of people were asking questions, but Maguire had served him well, to be completely honest. So, man, I understood that, man.
Okay. And then obviously Watkins started well, scored a goal, and then went off injured. So again, England just going to have a heavy reliance on Harry Kane again, or is that not an issue?
But they're always going to have a heavy reliance on Harry Kane. It was unfortunate that he got his chance and he got injured. But there's been many friendlies, qualifiers where strikers have been called and they don't play. I'd say it's unlucky that Watkins, he got his game time and he went off injured. Well, it's also
That was
interesting. I
nasty.
think,
What, did he get injured from when he crashed into the post with his knee?
Yeah, that was it.
What
Yeah,
do you reckon about that miss? Should he have put that away?
yeah.
he should have. Yeah, he should have put that away, man. Let's be honest.
Disgusting miss, man. When I saw that, I was like, I mean, yeah. Listen,
I mean, the thing is, to get injured off the back of that is even worse.
that's because I thought, you know, when you obviously missed the chance, you should score in it. Like, you know, I'm injured. Like, bring it.
Yeah. Like you make a bit more of a meal of it.
I thought it was that. I think it was a mix of that and obviously, he put it's nasty work, bro. Because I always put myself in. If this guy was at Man United and I'm having to see this, bro, I would be stewing, bro. Absolutely stewing. Terrible miss, man. Nasty work.
Yeah, and then I think Rashford came on for him as well, so so he would have gone right up top. So yeah, so
No, Rashford didn't play up top. It was Gordon.
Oh, did he throw Gordon up?
He moved Gordon centre, Rashford on the left.
Does he do that for Newcastle? Gordon Black?
Yeah,
he does. Okay.
You're
right. You're right. Yeah, it's on that.
Yeah, so it's interesting for him to even do that because, like I said, even before, I think when I've seen Rashford at Barca, I prefer him to be like more central than on the wings, but that's just my opinion. Cool. Overall, Tuchel says that England are the underdogs for the World Cup. Is he just playing mind tricks, or England should be doing well in a competition like the World Cup? Let's be honest.
Well, it's about time someone said the opposite, because every single tournament for the last how many years England have been touted as favourites, and it's not really gone down, you know, how they expected it to go. So maybe it is mind games to reduce the expectations and the pressure.
Have they actually been like bookies' favourites or to win tournaments before?
Yeah, they have. You know, yeah.
In some cases,
it?
yeah. But definitely in England, the media's like, we're going to win it.
Under Southgate, they've definitely been the favourites. I think underdogs is probably apt though, because they're one of how many different underdogs are there going to be in this tournament? The tournament's bigger, right? There's more teams.
Oh yeah, apparently.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait, who do you think are not? Well, what's the opposite of underdogs?
Favourites.
Is it favourites and underdogs, or is it another?
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Dark
France?
Dark horses. You could have
France, Spain, Germany aren't favourites anymore.
Yeah, I'll just wait for France. Oh, it's World Cup, innit? Okay, so
yeah. France, Spain, Brazil aren't really favourites for tournaments. Argentina
for sure.
I think that's about it. You know.
Yeah, that is probably the number. Yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah.
Everyone else are like probably as similar to England. You group them in the underdogs.
Yeah.
I want to say the underdogs. Maybe they're dark horses.
Yeah. Well,
England.
Dark horses.
Yeah, they're more dark horses than underdogs.
England can't
every time
Italy's more underdog than England.
No, Italy will be dark
right
horses.
now.
When you say dark horses, what dark horses is that somebody who is good but who isn't expected to win but could win it based on how good they are?
Yeah.
So I don't ever say. I mean, I guess that is a term of dark horses, but I would probably say will do better than what you expect them to do.
Yeah, they do. They go.
I'd have Italy as dark horses over England then, because my expectation for the players that England has got, my expectation for England, what the players they've got, is that they should be doing good.
Yeah, so they can't be underdogs. That's my point.
Yeah, they're more underachievers than underdogs, in my opinion.
Yeah, fair. Yes, that's actually a good question.
The Netherlands as well.
Netherlands always suck though, man. They'll probably be dark. I wouldn't even put them in.
They were good at the last Euros, though. To be fair, they were actually alright. To be fair,
was that when
they lost to England? I think was it
lost to England? Is that when they done that smart free kick? Was it the World Cup you're talking about?
No, the Euros.
Oh, okay.
Euros.
What was it there? They played. That was a World Cup when they played the.
They lost to. Sorry, they lost to England in the semi-finals, bro, and then England played Spain after that.
Okay, all right. I'm thinking of the World Cup. There.
No, that was Argentina when that rough. Yeah,
that free kick.
That was a good game. Yeah, a good game still.
Yeah, made us buy that waste, man.
Yeah,
loaded mother.
Who is that? Zexy?
No.
Vekost.
Vekost, yeah.
The defensive attacker.
Defensive attacker, yeah, literally. So obviously England have to play Latvia next, but looking at the group, they're 15 points. Albania 11. So I think it's a no. It doesn't even matter that game, to be honest. they'll finish top of the group. So again, should he be more like rotating with his team in that game and looking at players that probably he's going to look to take with him, or should he just play like his best 11?
No, man, start Saka, Rice, all the Arsenal guys, bro. Start all of them, bro. Man. Make them play full 90 as well, bro.
What you say, so they can get injured, or?
Nah, of course not. What are you talking about? So they can get sharper, innit?
Jesus. Fair enough. All right, let's move away from England and internationals. Let's move on to another topic. Obviously, back to the Prem. There's a few discussions going on. Let's move on to the first discussion. Is the Premier League the hardest league in Europe? So we've got players like Wirtz, Sancho, Antony, and there's a lot of others that were hyped before joining or being linked with Premier League clubs that are now struggling to adapt once they arrive. Is this evidence that the Premier League is the toughest league in Europe? And what makes it so challenging? It's just, is it, like, let me put it to you. Is it intensity? Is it physicality? Is it the tactical variety now? Is it the media pressure? I mean, there's a lot of things that go with the Premier League that you probably don't get in a lot of other leagues. So if I put it to the floor.
I think the Premier League is, it has got claim to being the toughest league in Europe. It's easy to say that as somebody based in England that watches the Premier League week in, week out. However, why I make that assertion is when I compare it to some of the other major leagues, such as the German league, the Spanish league, the French league even, I can't say that the same level of competition is consistent throughout all the fixtures in other leagues as it is in the Premier League. Like, there's almost no game. Like, Arsenal play Fulham, I believe, next, and there's jeopardy in that game. Liverpool could play Crystal Palace. There's jeopardy in that game. Manchester United can play Newcastle. Jeopardy in that game. Burnley could play Chelsea. Jeopardy in that game. You get what I mean? And it's like like obviously you've got your favourites and you've got who you're expected to win, but there's literally jeopardy in almost every fixture. And a big part and a big reason behind that is there's so much money in the Premier League, the rights fees that we get paid, the broadcasting fees that we get paid, the money that's just in the Premier League. So now you're seeing that the best talent is coming to the Premier League. Like, it's the best strikers, the best midfielders, the best defenders, the best goalkeepers. And then now we're also getting the best managers as well. So we're kind of almost like, it's almost like a super league almost. Like, so we're just getting the best of everything. Yes, you do get brilliant talent in other leagues, but they tend to be in the top teams, such as your Bayern Munich's, your Dortmund's, your Bayer Leverkusen's once upon a time, your Real Madrid, your Barcelona's, your Atletico Madrid's, always over across three teams in the other leagues, like your Paris Saint-Germain's, your Marseille's, your Napoli's, your Inter Milan's. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's always a particular amount, a few teams that host all the best players, and sometimes even those best players, it's like they've had their stint in the Premier League, and it's like, all right, we need to go to a slower league now that will match with the tempo of maybe our bodies. Whereas with the Premier League, it's fast, it's fierce, it's ferocious. You ain't got that much time to think on the ball. Only the best players get time because they can create times with their feints and the way they can manipulate the ball. I would say the Premier League is definitely the hardest league. And I think, like you mentioned, I think you mentioned a couple of players. What we're witnessing in the struggle of them transitioning into the Premier League, I think it speaks volumes as to why the Premier League is one of the toughest. Like Wirtz is no longer doing a 007, he's doing a 009 now, maybe even a 0010, a 010, should I say? Like,
let me check if it's 010. We counting Germany performances or not?
No. For Germany, he scored a goal. So it's
009 then.
Wait, hang on.
Hey, Joey, we put your camera when it went black there because we thought, Wirtz, you didn't want to be associated with that talk.
No. But you know, Strive makes some good points. It's hard to refute. The only thing I would say is that a league being faster doesn't necessarily make it more difficult. Because I've noticed that, for example, a lot of people say the French league is way more physical than the English Premier League. And there's some people might say that English teams would struggle against some of the mid-tier. A majority of English clubs would struggle against a majority of the mid-tier French and other league clubs as well. So I think what we're doing, we're taking the clubs that have finances that are way beyond the rest of the world, and we're comparing them with the rest of the leagues. But how would Fulham fare in the French league? How would Fulham fare in the Bundesliga? And when we see those teams kind of go into Europe, they struggle against these teams that we're talking about as being cannon fodder. So like even your like Mönchengladbachs and your Frankfurts who have gone well and dominated the Europa Leagues, for example, people don't rate them in the German league, but they'll beat a majority of the Premier League clubs. So I don't really know how do you track whether a league is that much more better or that much more intense in terms of the rest of the teams outside of the traditional top six.
And what I'll say is, obviously, different leagues, they probably specialize in different things. Let's say Spain is probably a bit more technical. Italy is a bit more tactical. Germany, I don't know what Germany is a mixture of.
It's proper basketball back and forth in German league as well.
It's quite open, yeah. But then I think with England, you have now, obviously, to the point that Strive's made, because of the money, you've got some of the better managers in the league, you've got some of the better players. And with better managers, you have different tactics. And okay, you come to Germany, Wirtz is probably used to playing open football. But how many times does he play against a low block whereby, okay, right, now can you break us? And then how many times did he come up against a midfield like Newcastle's, where it's literally monsters playing against little kids? He's not used to that. So I do think the Prem has a combination of strength, intensity, speed, technical and tactical. So personally, I think that's what makes it, I wouldn't say that makes it the best league to watch, because everyone has their favorites in terms of what they want to get out of a particular game. But I think because of all the things that it incorporates, it makes it the most intense. And if you're not used to it, it takes you a bit longer to adapt. Not to say you'll never adapt, but you take a bit longer to adapt. So yes, hence why someone like Wirtz, even Antony in Netherlands is more technical. And it's like, hey, I'm doing the what's the around the world?
Allow it.
Maybe the Netherlands, he done around the world, he was like, rah.
Yeah,
no, but there's more. I'm sure there's more cases of players that have gone into other leagues in this league, or from the Premier League to other leagues, from other leagues to this league, where they haven't been successful, or they have been successful, because obviously, like, we've named Wirtz this season, but then in the same hand, we've got Voltemade, who looks like he's been in this league for God knows how long, and Ekitike, who's hit the ground running. So I don't know if it's necessarily about the leagues they're coming from, or even the traits, because like Voltemade is not fast, but he might be just somebody who can process information a lot quicker. Ekitike as well.
Is it more so much the team and the system some of these guys are going into? Voltemade, he's got the structure of Newcastle. They're like, plug and play. Ekitike, plug and play. He knows what he's doing. He's positioned.
He's the brain. He's the new brain of the pitch. Where they're I'm saying the Cam is the brain. No, Cam. If you're going to Cam, you're the brain of the team in terms of how we're gonna go build our attacks, innit? Like that's my understanding of playing number 10.
Wasn't he? Sorry,
whereas Voltemade.
Leverkusen.
Sorry.
So he was the brain that Leverkusen.
Yeah. So obviously, it's to your point, is that it's a different requirement from being a plug and play 9 to being a brain that jumps from league to league, or whatever. Maybe it's easy to jump from league to league as a 9 than it is to jump as a brain.
But doesn't it mean? If we're talking about systems, obviously, Wirtz comes from the Leverkusen, however they played, and he's more or less like the golden child, the focal point. Everything comes through him. But he goes to Liverpool now, and it's okay. You've got Salah, you've got all these guys who are the main guys. So how do I fit? And maybe if the manager, I don't know, maybe if Salah wasn't there, or maybe there was a better system in place for him. Because really, truly, even though he's a brain, because he's playing in the center of the pitch, it's going to take him a lot longer to understand how the Prem works. So it's.
I was going to say, though, you made a good point, Della, but is it that the players that are now coming from other leagues to the Prem, are they overhyped to a point before they join that they're struggling to like almost manage expectation than the difficulty of the league? Do you know what I mean?
Personally,
that definitely contributes for sure.
Yeah. And I think, let's be real, sometimes we don't really. How many of us really watch Wirtz? I know we're picking on Wirtz here, but I know we saw highlights, we saw some of his reels, and we're like, yeah, he's the bee's knees. But me personally, the only time I really saw him was when he was when he played for Germany in the Euros, and even then I said to someone, I was like, yeah, if he comes to the Prem, it won't be plug and play because he's. I don't know. He looks a bit light, even in comparison to Musiala.
Yeah,
Musiala, like, even though he was like he was dominating, he was robust.
He's robust.
He played one or two games. The next minute he's a sub, and he's coming off the bench.
I think that's what the surprising thing was, because I mean he's kind of delivering what you kind of expected or seen from Wirtz in the past. I mean, he's a very neat player. He's smart. He's intelligent. Technically savvy. He hasn't. In Leverkusen, he wasn't known for scoring like bags of goals, as far as I'm aware of. And I think, that goes back to, I think, the price tag is probably what is the key element here that is making people have so much criticism against Wirtz, because it's like you recognize how much they paid for him, and even when they bidded for him, I was like, right, this one feels like a bit of a left field one. The price tag didn't make any sense to me, and it's like you almost assume that once a player is being sold for in excess of 100 million, there's a certain expectation of superstardom that you expect to see from a player immediately, and I don't think you're ever really gonna get that with Wirtz. He'll be a good player, he'll be all right, but I just don't ever think he's gonna like the house on fire.
Yeah, even when he played against Liverpool in the Champions League, bro, I saw the game. I didn't know who Wirtz was, that he was a problem child or whatever you people want to call him, when he played against Liverpool. When I watched the game, I wasn't blown away by him at all. I mean, like in that season, I think he got 16 goals and something like 15 assists last season, the season before. So they are decent numbers, but again, there's a Bundesliga tax when you come to England, boy. So
for sure. Yeah. But is it interesting though? Because if I put it to you guys, if we compare someone like Salah, and if we think that he started at Chelsea, he probably didn't really hit the ground running, and then he obviously went to I think after Chelsea it was Fiorentina on loan, and then Roma, and then obviously he did his thing at Roma, and then I think Roma he was there for like a year before Liverpool obviously took him back. So is there a case of sometimes you can come to the Prem a bit too soon? It's a bit too premature in your career, because obviously these players are a lot younger now.
Not even just the Prem. Sometimes you can move to any team a bit too soon. Like Ekitike is a perfect example. Ekitike moved to PSG. He had a lot of positive reviews on him prior to that move, and he goes in there and he can't dislodge Mbappe, because Mbappe is Mbappe. But you look at him at Liverpool, he's obviously been to Frankfurt, right? Frankfurt, he's obviously had a little bit, and now he knows the player he is, and he's probably come there, got to Liverpool with a little bit more of a bit of bass in his chest, evident in the fact that man's getting sent off for
he's got a CV in there. He's got a CV behind him.
He's got a solid CV. So I don't think it's necessarily a Prem thing. I think all players at all levels and all clubs can move to a club pretty too soon before their time.
So would we say though that they are primarily moving maybe a bit too quick now though? Because if you think 21, 22, or does it just depend on the player?
It's just go on.
Oh yeah, it depends on the player. More really and truly, it depends on the player's mentality, man. And I think that's where you need top tier scouts, man, to find these players. I remember in Football Manager, there used to be a determination trait. You used to have aggression trait, all of these kind of things, man. That's what you want. I think even Arne Slot's spoken about it, having players who are quick in the lateral movements in terms of agility, can change direction quickly, players that can run all day, and players that are good on the ball. So I think he fit a lot of those categories. Maybe, obviously, it's very, very early days, but one thing that's annoying me about him is, forget about all the other stuff and the lack of GA and all that kind of stuff. It's just the way he's striking the ball, bro, man. The way he shoot, it's just it's very soft in it, man. And like, forget about the technique. It's just like, when Darwin Núñez is the complete opposite of him, where he used to smash everything at 100. This guy's smashing everything at like 20% in it, and it's just very frustrating that there's no aggression. And one thing I like about players are players that play with aggression, like McAllister. He's very slight of figure, but he plays with so much aggression, man. Like, he just bang up Mino for no reason last season. Hopefully that's what happens this weekend as well. But he's aggressive in it, and that's what he needs to survive in this league. If you don't have the physical attributes in it, you at least need aggression, or like that, what some people call it little man syndrome or whatever. But yeah, man.
Donny Wirtz the beak, bruv. He's not if he ain't got it now, bruv, he ain't gonna have it, bruv. Like,
maybe not, but there are people that didn't have it. Like David Silva didn't have it. But David Silva was able to, he didn't have that devilment, bro, but he's just a silky player who was able to work in the Premier League. He's a bit of an anomaly in terms of not having the physical attributes.
Because that's probably a good point. Like, I'll probably say, in terms of like the profile, what you expect from Wirtz in terms of like how he plays, you're probably looking at the David Silvas and the Matters and thinking of almost like a Cesc Fabregas, but maybe not less so. Yeah, probably less so with Cesc. So I mean, we know what he should be doing. It's just at the minute,
But you know what? The interesting thing is, of those players you mentioned, minus Cesc, because he's the midfielder. Mata, I think he started off on the flanks, then moved to the centre. David Silva started on, I think, then time Man City were playing 4-4-2. Yeah, he started off on the left, then moved to the centre. This is the point I'm making about someone like Wirtz. To come from that league and put you straight into the centre, I think Slot, he's setting him up to fail, because I don't think he's got in him. And history shows that, and I won't be surprised if towards the latter stages of this season, he moves to start playing on the left or on the right, and
maybe
from the centre.
Maybe. But one thing I say about
you go into it.
One thing I say about Wirtz is, though, like, I know you might beat me up for this, but bro, he's not playing that badly, man. Like, I think he's still got one of the highest chance creations in the league this season, man. So he's doing something, and there's something there. But as Della said, maybe he'll be doing a lot more if he was coming from the wing. Della, I notice you're smiling. Is there anything else you want to say? Is there anything you want to follow up with? Just any words? Any words? You're passive aggressive for the rest of your life.
what we focus on.
The thing is, I think
your own players.
No, exactly. Because I was going to say, Della, the thing is, what you said is bang on. I think it's right. It's too soon. But then it goes back to what Marley was saying, was you pay so much money for a player and then you're going to bench him. It's like, I don't know. Like we said, maybe it's to do with
bench him, man.
From the media.
But no, if that's the issue on the club, because I don't know, like, for you to break a transfer record to sign a player, you must know, or the manager, I don't know how Liverpool do their signings together, they must know, if we're bringing this player in, we have a vision for him. And personally, I don't think Slot or Liverpool have a vision for Wirtz, because for you to still like moving him around, sometimes he plays left, sometimes he plays centre. Like, why did you buy him?
No, you can have a vision for him.
No, but that's the issue. That's the issue. That's what's making things bad for Wirtz, because Gaffer, you bought me. Where do you want me to be playing?
No, but Gaffer didn't buy you, though, innit? So I'm saying the guys who bought him might have a vision for him, but maybe that vision doesn't include Slot, because if Slot can't figure out how to use all of these assets that because remember the way they operate, Liverpool, I think they're trying to start a multi-club organization. So the way they operate is that the Richard Hughes and the Michael Edwards, they're not Liverpool, they're the FSG Sports Group, innit? Basically, Fenway Sports Group. So they're just bringing the resources that you need to build a vision for this club. And this guy fits in this position and this vision, and for the longevity of the club. The same for Ekitike, the same for Isak. If what I notice about these multi-club teams is, if the manager isn't doing their bit, bro, the manager's going to be the first person to go, bro. So if he didn't ask for them, maybe they have to allow him. But the fact is that these guys they're part of the long-term planning of the club.
But you see, when you say the long-term planning stuff, I don't think you break the transfer record for long-term planning.
No, 100%.
You break the transfer record for instant gratification. Because if you want long-term planning, Wirtz is not like like there's only one Wirtz in this world. You can find a younger player and say this is for the future. But the mere fact that you broke the transfer record, say, you know what, I need something from you. Now for me that's agreed. But so we have to think about how much of the fee is for now and how much is it for later. Yeah. I think you're saying the majority of the fee will be for now. Maybe debatable, but from what I've heard from what I've heard Richard Hughes personally say, they wanted people for the future. That's all I've personally heard them say, but I don't disagree with you. Yeah.
But there's been many flops in the Premier League. Like even if we go way back, maybe like a Shevchenko wasn't amazing. You know, he came in.
Kazaragi.
Man United.
Kaka wasn't in the Prem.
No, they were good. It wasn't all that.
Adrian Muti.
Oh yeah, Muti. Yeah.
I wish it was all right before the cocaine.
Yeah. Imagine getting banned for that long for cocaine. That's crazy, you know, bro. And everybody was doing cocaine in the league at that time. That's insane, bro.
George Weah.
George Weah. Yeah, there's been loads, bro.
Chelsea players.
Well, Finney stunk as well. Crespo stunk as well, bro.
Yeah, that's true.
Obviously, you got the Man United ones, the Falcao. He was one of my guys, man.
Varane.
Into that, Pogba.
No, I wouldn't say Pogba. No, I think
I don't.
I think the media was too harsh on Pogba.
Like Schweinsteiger, but some of these
Varane.
Yeah, some of these are through circumstance though, because I know Bastian Schweinsteiger's he was actually decent before
Jose.
Jose just wasn't feeling him, so can just be a victim of circumstance.
Did I share something in the group about Jose when he wanted to sign Alexis Sanchez
from Man United?
Nah.
Yeah. I'll find the clip. Basically, I think what's his name? Mkhitaryan. He's got his book out.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, yeah. You did share that. You did, yeah.
I did see it,
But do you think there's more players that come to the Premier League with a reputation of flop than not?
Reputation of flop? Nah.
Yeah, like with you think there's more players that come with a reputation and succeed than there are that flop?
So they leave and have a reputation of being flop. I thought you meant
no. They come to the Premier League with a reputation already intact of them being good players, and then they flop.
We probably noticed them more, just because the Premier League is the way it is, and the Premier League has so much money that they buy pretty much everyone. So there's more case studies of it being the case.
So you think if you were to go through all like the players that come to the Premier League with a reputation, there'd be more flops than successes?
In England for sure, because as well, I think a large part of it as well is like public perception and how the media might portray a player. Say for instance, you've got a player that goes to Spain. He's relatively unknown. He does really well. The press on him, for instance, him doing well in that league is not going to be the same as the press in England of him doing well. Similarly, if they're doing rubbish, the press in that league isn't going to be the same as how it is in England. England just seems to magnify everything, and I guess it's just because there's so much money in the league anyway.
Yeah.
And also, it's only if it's like Real Madrid or Barcelona.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, any of the other teams is not moving any papers for anyone to talk about. But isn't that the same in England though? Like, if you go to Burnley with a reputation, are people going to talk about you? Because like even Marcus Edwards, for example, was a big player in Portugal, and then he went to Burnley, and I don't even know where that guy is now.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but we don't have to go too far. We can. What would we say even about Grealish from Aston Villa to Man City?
So that doesn't really count to me because obviously he's come from within the league.
I know. But I'm saying it's still a big fee, and it's shown that obviously he was the main man at Aston Villa.
Sorry, you're cutting out, mate.
Yeah, you're cutting out again. Yeah.
Not hit the ground running, and Yeah, I was going to say, it goes to show you don't even have to come from abroad. You can still be within the league, be doing good, and then move to a bigger club, and it doesn't always work.
Yeah, what's that saying?
That one is different a bit though as well.
Small
Though.
fish in a big pond. Is it small
Yeah,
fish in a big
exactly.
pond?
Yeah, small. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Jack Grealish. I think Jack Grealish was good because people were serving him in the same way Della were. I thought, what was the example? You gave an example about that earlier on. But obviously, Wirtz has come to Liverpool and there's X amount of people who were there.
Yeah.
So now your role has changed in it. And can you mentally adjust to being a focal point for everything to just being a guy who's instructed to do two things on the pitch? That's a hard switch in it. And then obviously, like, you can do everything else. But yeah, it's crazy, man.
Fair enough. And then obviously, is it easier to do it the other way, though, in terms of from the Prem, if you're a star, to go abroad?
What? Not even if you're a star. I think personally, even if you've had a decent stint in the Prem, and then as I mentioned, because of what the skill sets you built, you build from the Prem, you take it to other countries, other leagues. So it puts you in good stead. Like, for example, promoting, like what was he doing in Stoke? Then he goes to Bayern Munich, and what he seemed like he's a completely different player. And obviously, you've got the likes of Ingissa from Fulham goes to Napoli.
Rafinha Leeds.
Rafinha. Yeah,
But you see, Anguissa was a top player, bro, when he came to Fulham. But remember, because they spent that bare money and then they got relegated. But and
he
even
played for a relegated team. Now he's gone to Italy and winning the league. McTominay as well.
Yeah,
not a relegated team, but you know what I mean?
Same question. Do you think there are more players that have left the Premier League and gone on to be successes in other leagues than there have been failures, though?
Well, left the Prem and been a success abroad.
Yeah, because I think there's more players that have left the Premier League and just become obsolete guys that you don't even hear of ever again.
Examples? Have you got any examples?
No, because you don't hear about those guys anymore. Yeah. But do you know what I mean? Like, I think, like, for example, Andros Townsend is now playing in Thailand.
Come on, he should have retired.
I'm not. But I'm saying, like, because he's left the Premier League and he's now in a bit. Technically, he's obsolete now, isn't it? I think there's more players that go. There's bare players that go to Serie A, and we don't hear anything about them. Like, once they've gone, they're gone. But obviously, Zambo Anguissa, he's won the league there. That's why we're hearing about him. But I think there's more players that leave the Premier League and just become obsolete, to be completely honest.
But then, for example, like Lookman went to how many teams in the Prem? And then he goes to Atlanta, and then he's being lauded. He got what?
He balled out
all these other players. Atlanta.
Lookman balled out at Leipzig as well when he went on loan. But my point is that I think there's more. There's a lot more who just fall into obsolescence than there are who are. Then there are your Lookmans and your Anguissas.
Off the top of my head,
it's worth having a look at, to be fair. But
yeah, without doing research, I would say off the top of my head, I'll say there's more who've been more of a success. That's really off the top of my head. Yeah, from who
is that more recent?
No, you know what I'm going to do actually. Hang on, let me.
Memphis Depay.
Yeah, for sure.
Struggling in United.
Where did he go after that?
Where did he go, guys? Is your player?
Depay.
Well, no,
he's been to Leon. Did he go Leon?
He went Leon. That's right.
Was it Leon?
Yeah,
I didn't even know. When these guys leave the club, bro, they're dead to me, bro.
You would say Yannis Glide?
Yannis,
Sevilla.
Yannis, what's he doing now, bro?
Not now, but obviously coming.
No, but I'm saying, like, he's an example of somebody who didn't. Who and he was technically he was kind of a wonder kid. Even like I've not heard anything about the centre back from Liverpool, Joel Quansah, gone to Bayer Leverkusen. I've not heard anything. Darwin Núñez is stinking. He was stinking already, to be fair, but he's stinking. The only person I've heard from Liverpool who's doing well is Tyler Morton, who's gone to Lyon. But I feel like there's more players who we just don't even care about or bat an eyelid at, who leave the Premier League on a free transfer and then they're just stinking in other leagues, bruv.
With Man United, it seems to be players will leave the club and they only have to do the even slightly all right, and
Yeah.
you obviously
true.
mentioned McTominay.
Højlund doing well as well.
Højlund doing well now.
Yeah, but McTominay was always doing well for us.
Yeah, he was. It's just that people don't like him, to be fair, at United.
No, do you know what it is? It's similar to Rashford. I think what they're outputting, what they're doing in the clubs they're currently at was very similar, if not exactly the same at what it was doing at Man United. But at Man United, because the expectation or through either through the clubs or through the media or whoever it is so high that what they're currently doing when they're at Manchester United isn't good enough. But when they go to another club where the expectations are less, they're doing substantially better. Sancho, great example. Antony, similar example. Højlund's obviously scoring now. He wasn't scoring at Man United, so probably can't even use him as an example. But there's so many players that leave Man United. And David De Gea, like he's doing exactly the same thing he was doing at our club. But like now he's at Fiorentina without the expectations. He's the greatest.
But he couldn't find a club for ages though when he left.
He couldn't find a. Yeah, he wasn't. He was.
Another example, Felipe Coutinho, bro. That guy he owned the Premier League, but when he was here, then when he left, bro, he's just stunk at every club he's been at since. Even when he came back to Villa, he stunk.
Yeah, the Coutinho one, I think it.
Don't know why I thought it. Don't know why I thought Headled, but
Lebel is alright.
At Barcelona.
Yeah, he was alright at Barcelona.
I thought he didn't really pull up any trees at Barcelona, did he not?
I wouldn't say he pulled up any trees, but he didn't stink. He wasn't worse at Arsenal, I don't think, in terms of his ability on the ball.
No, at Arsenal he's good as far as I remember.
Yeah, he was sick.
Oh yeah, he was.
Like his career wasn't as good.
Yeah, it didn't.
Yeah, that's fair. But I wouldn't say he was a failure at Barca though. Whereas I say Coutinho was kind of a flop, especially because they paid 150 million for him at Barca.
Do you not see Wirtz in this Coutinho transfer? And then do you not see the Coutinho transfer and this Wirtz transfer in terms of Coutinho going for big money, Wirtz going for big money, him being the focal point at Liverpool, then going to Barcelona where he's surrounded by all these players and he's like, hey, goddamn, I'm not the guy no more. Do you not see similarities?
Oh, you mean Coutinho to Barcelona? Not
yeah.
No, Coutinho to Barcelona and Wirtz to Liverpool.
Yeah, currently. I can't. How long was Coutinho at Barcelona for? A season and a half, was it? Or
then they went to Bayern, innit?
Yeah, potentially there is potential for that because, like you said, it's a big fish going from a small pond to a bigger pond, and the fee attached. But yeah. There's loads of similarities, man. To be fair, there's loads because both of them I think are very good players, man. But it's whether it can be unleashed at this club or not.
Tavares has left Arsenal and he's looking like a freaking a new man in the French league.
Bro, what?
Is he
when he was at Arsenal, yeah. When he was at Arsenal, he looked like Nunes, bro. Like this guy's never kicked a ball before, bro. And then all of a sudden, left back Nuno Tavares, and then Tavares, bro. I've seen him doing a madness. I think it was in the French league.
What team was he at? I know he was alone at Marseille, but last season he was in Italy.
Bro, but even he came back to Nottingham Forest, bro. I think it's Lazio. He came back to Nottingham Forest and he looked dead as well, bro. So it's like there's a full sword in the Premier League, bro. That just, you know what I mean?
Fair enough. But again, I think it alludes to that the amount of players coming in and the amount of players going out is probably there's a lot of traffic there. So we're going to find a lot of numbers either way. So compared to some other leagues. So it's interesting. Interesting. All right, we'll move on to the third part.
Tesman as well.
Is Nuno Tavares even in the French league right now? He's in Serie A.
Lazio, it's Lazio.
Lazio, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because we got another guy that used to play for Arsenal there as well.
Ganduzi.
What's his name? Brooks Norton Coffee. They're looking
no, he's not there. He's in Italy, but I don't know if he's not at Lazio.
Okay. Yeah. No, he's not. I think Lazio. I'm looking at him though, or maybe Juventus. But yeah, no. Obviously I've been quiet, but I was just thinking of other players that have left the Premier League and are flourishing elsewhere, just as credence as to why maybe the Premier
League. He's at Calgary.
Cagliari.
Okay.
Yeah, Cagliari. That's it.
Interesting. It would be interesting to see.
No, Genoa.
Genoa, yeah. Oh, I miss Syria, man. Syria used to be the best league in the world, bro, man.
No, it was the best when it was free, bro. When it was on normal
Yeah,
TV.
Channel 4.
Yeah, on Channel 4, of course, bro.
Oh,
man.
that's-
But
yeah.
if you subscribe to leagues coming up and going down in cycles, what do you think the next league would be after the Premier League? Like taking
In
money
terms
out of it, in terms of being the most popular league, because obviously Serie A was the most popular league for a bit. Premier League kind of took over from Serie A, and I think La Liga used to try and compete with Premier League every once in a while. But since Serie A was the number one league, Premier League is just taken over. Like, do you think any other leagues has a potential to come back and be the most dominant league?
I think Italy, you know,
Nah.
Yeah,
because they've got more
I
teams.
think
that
so
are
as
more-
well.
There's a lot more teams
Competitive,
that are
yeah.
quite competitive. Yeah, in Spain, it's just Barcelona.
But yeah, I'd actually say
Real,
Spain.
and maybe Atletico.
Atletico Madrid, yeah.
What other teams would have to come up in Spain for it to be more dominant? Because again, it's only the top three that I can think of at Spain.
Valencia, some of the old dogs that used to be
True.
knocking about
But
Valencia.
they're far off right now, though. But at least
Yeah, they're very far off.
Absolutely no chance.
But we're saying one of the old giants would have to come back, or not even giants, mini.
Deportivo.
I think there's more gods in Serie A. La Liga only has a couple demigods. Like Valencia will be a demigod, Sevilla will be a demigod as well. But in Serie A, you got Inter, you got Roma, you got Lazio, you got AC,
Juventus.
you've got Juventus, bro. There's way more like. Do you know what I mean?
But you know,
Atalanta's more of a demigod than
I think it's because the teams are very of a similar standard. Because I don't think that they have a lot of teams for sure, but they have a lot of teams because in the league, most of the teams are competing with each other because the standards are great. I don't actually think the teams are that good. I'll be honest.
In Serie A?
In Serie A, yeah. And so you got Napoli.
No, I'm not saying that they're good. I'm saying that they have the prestige and the history of being like like whereas Valencia hasn't really hit high heights. Like a Roma or a Lazio in their prime. So I'm saying like they've got more sleeping giants in Serie A. That's why I'd agree with Della.
Hundreds.
Like Bundesliga, they've got a couple of sleeping giants, but right, like some of them guys, a lot of them are in like the Bundesliga too now, bro. Like. I don't even know if who?
Are Wolfsburg in their second division?
No, but Wolfsburg are still in the first division. But I think Schalke might still be in Bundesliga too.
Yeah, they got relegated. Okay,
yeah. Schalke. I don't even know. 1860 Munich. I don't even know if they're a team anymore, bro. But they were. There was a period in the Champions League where they were dominating. Obviously, Dortmund's the other team, but yeah,
it's all changed, yo. All right, quickly. Let's move on to the third question. Quick. How long should managers be given? And when is sacking them justified? Obviously, we've got Ange, who's reportedly under pressure after only 7 games. Ruben Amorim, obviously, he's come under a lot of pressure, even though he's been backed publicly by Jim Ratcliffe, saying that there's a 3-year plan in place, even though he's got inconsistent results. So what's the right balance between giving managers time and demanding results? If I start with you, Strives, obviously, you can use... Arteta is a good example here, I would say.
I think it's a difficult question to answer because I think it's a nuanced question, isn't it? Really, Arteta. I've seen a lot of comparisons with Ruben Amorim and Arteta, but I don't really think that I think they're ill-placed comparisons. With Arteta. You saw him coming to a team, take over a team, and immediately impress upon that team his principles, a style of play that he wanted to initiate. And then when that style of play wasn't working, you saw him adapt to the players that he had. You kind of saw adaptability from Arteta. And you saw him figure out a way to stabilize Arsenal whilst at the same time go on to win a trophy in his first 6 months or so. So that earned him a lot of credit in the bank. From that as well, like Arsenal fans were able to immediately distinguish a playing identity that were favourable to Arsenal fans in comparison to what we had with Unai Emery, so to speak, and that's what afforded Arteta the time. He didn't. He had to earn that time because there were some very dark times, and he was probably fortunate with COVID at the time. So there were certain things that probably he was fortunate about. Fortunate with, but I still feel like that credit from showing his adaptability, his coaching now. He's obviously winning that trophy. I think that held him in good stead. Whereas, let's say Ruben Amorim, he's kind of tried to do a copy and paste from Sporting and Club Portugal to Manchester United, and there's not really been that same level of adaptability. He's had a pre-season now. He's had a transfer window, and we still haven't really seen his identity. Or if we have seen his identity and pressed upon the Manchester United team, it completely stinks. And I was surprised. I was both surprised and both happy to hear that your Jim, Sir Ratcliffe or whatever you call him, gave Ruben Amorim the vote of confidence, because that means that we're going to see. We could potentially maybe see Manchester United get relegated, and that's I've prayed for days like that.
Sorry. I was going to say, with the Arteta and Ruben comparison, the only reason this comparison is because Ruben keeps on mentioning Arteta's name. But I think just on the Arteta point, I think there's a lot of revision.
Good marketing, Ruben.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of revision being done with Arteta though, because I remember when he first came, like pretty early on, like it was like a lot of Arteta out, and I remember that his fortunes actually changed because he wasn't doing well. His fortunes, remember, they changed when he took Leno out of goal and then put
Martinez.
Martinez like that. When he done that was when the performances actually changed for the better.
And you're forgetting another change was Emil Smith-Rowe and Saka.
Emil Smith-Rowe and Saka. Oh yeah,
he started. I think it did take some injuries. I mean, we saw some stuff that a stubbornness that sometimes you might still attribute to him to today. But yeah, you might be right. There was a little bit of fortune that maybe played a part in it, but ultimately he used those tools, and we've seen him adapt to a scenario and a situation by which rendered us results. Whereas I can't say that that's happened for Ange Postecoglou at Nottingham Forest in his first 6 or 7 games. I can't say that's happened for Ruben Amorim in the time that he's been at Manchester United. So where Drayman's obviously obviously pushed that question at me, and he's asked me to maybe draw upon Arteta's experiences to answer the question. I can forge a better case as to why Arteta was given time, whereas I can't. I personally wouldn't make that same case for Ruben Amorim. I think Ruben Amorim, like his time, he's on a timer. Like there's no way I'd be if my if somebody at executive level at my club was giving Ruben Amorim 3 years to continue that, I'd be livid. But we know he chats like because I think most Man United fans will probably say exactly the same thing, that 3 years was very, very left field, and he hasn't shown enough of a case study to say that this guy deserves 3 years. I think Ratcliffe is
it's media talk, man. Media talk.
I want to believe so, because remember he also said we were broke the other day. And
yeah, exactly. I don't trust that guy.
Spent peas in the transfer window. So I think you have to kind of take what he says with a pinch of salt. Because I think, for instance, if we was to lose the next 3 games, so we've got Dre, you're gonna have to help me out here. I know we've got Liverpool next. Do you know who we've got after that? If we lost the next 3 games,
Nottingham Forest, and then it was Everton.
Exactly. Perfect games for this example. So, for instance, Liverpool, massive rival. If we lose that, fans are on him. Nottingham Forest, they're in the mud right now. New manager. If we lose that, even with Ange as well, terrible. And it brought madness. And then Everton. I mean, they're playing well, but Everton, the kind of thing in it. That could be the 3 games. And I think if it was to lose those games, There's
and it's Palace after that as well.
and then Palace, but we probably expected to lose against Palace. That's probably the one L we can take without any backlash. But those next 3 games, if he loses those games, bro, like it's untenable at that point, regardless of what Ratcliffe said. Because Ratcliffe he alludes to the fact that he's a fan as well. So when the fans are kicking off about we don't see no improvement in the club, if Ratcliffe is really who he says he is, he's probably thinking he should be thinking the same things as us. Because we haven't seen any endearing characters from Ruben in terms of his coaching as of yet.
If he was though, Ratcliffe would sack himself though if he was a fan as well, bro. If we're gonna be honest, so it's like, you know what I mean?
Businessman. He's a businessman first, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Not a good one at that, man.
But back to the question, instead of it not solely focusing on United and Ruben, like what's the metric or what's the barometer for measuring a manager and saying, you and I'm only going to give you 7 games. You, Ruben, are going to give you a season and a half or whatever. And obviously, if you had to take off your Man United hats now, and then should Ruben have gone a lot earlier, or do you say we should give him time? And likewise, and 7 games in, does he deserve more time considering the situation he's come into, or do you say no, you've not won a game in 7 games? That's not good enough. You just have to go.
And he hasn't had a preseason, according to Marley. He hasn't had a preseason, so you have to give him grace. And I agree with that as well, to be fair.
With Man United, I think I said it before. If we get to Christmas and he's still in charge, and I would say you're in the bottom half of the table, he has to go. Unfortunately,
I would say to the end of the season for Ruben. And
of course, you would look at this guy, bro.
I would.
Exactly. We'd be relegated in the relegation zone, bro, and he'll be saying to the end of the season.
And this guy's been working on his fake straight face.
You know what I mean? No, but he looked away, bro. He couldn't look in the camera, bro. But yeah, with Ruben, I think the end of last season as well, I was the same. Like he hasn't shown me enough for me to want to fight for him. Pause. So if he was to get fired like tomorrow, if he was to get fired at the beginning of the season, the end of the season is probably too long, because if it's end of the season, that means things are continuing to go haywire. But at the minute, he hasn't shown me enough, and he's also not playing Mainu, bruv. Like for me, that's sackable alone. So yeah, the Ruben thing for me is I don't care.
Especially the philosophy of United is obviously you need to bring in and develop the youth. Yeah, and obviously if he's not doing that, then it's like you're not even doing like the basic things of trying to push in 1 or 2 academy players into the first 11. Then who are we? We were losing our identity completely.
I think he will, though. I think he will. There's a few players that seem to be edging closer. Obviously, we saw Shea Lacey playing for. I didn't understand that. I didn't understand what. I mean, obviously, I'm happy for him because obviously it shows that the rumors we've heard as United fans over the years about Shea Lacey being the next one, he's our region for Phil Foden. The fact that he was training for England, I was a bit baffled. I thought, oh, maybe is he as good as he say? But that's one that you would hope this season. Probably he should get some minutes within the first team. And if he doesn't, then yeah, to your point, I don't know why Ruben's at the club, because that's something he should be doing. He's pushing through the youth, because that's what he done at Sporting, right?
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, I would say as well, we can also see examples where time has paid off. Joey Klopp, for instance.
Yeah, there was a period. I think Strives, you might remember this as well. Della definitely remembers this because he uses it against me at every opportunity. But there was a period where Jurgen Klopp was getting to finals and he was losing. I think he lost like 3 or 4 in a row or something like that. And like it's as a fan, you want to see your team excel, and then you ask the questions: this manager's good. Is he good enough to get us across the line? And eventually it turned out that way. But there's no hard and fast rule of determining whether a manager is able to get you over the line. You just have to, it's a gamble, innit? And when they do, it pays off. And when they don't, and you've just wasted so many years of your lives. Like there's so many women who were engaged and now they're not engaged anymore. So they wasted a lot of their lives. And that's what life is, to be fair. So hopefully Strives ends up being that person with Arteta again. But luckily for me, it worked out with Jurgen Klopp.
But I think I think though that in that scenario or that example that you've just described, you saw something. There was something to even if you were going to be critical, there's still something that there's an argument to say, well, Klopp is getting to finals consecutively.
There's a trajectory.
Yeah, and Arteta's finishing second 3 seasons in a row. So
building a team, you're starting to see like an identity, a form, but it's harder to fashion that same argument when, like, okay, even Ange, it's only been 7 games, but in that 7 games, what have we seen to show that it's going to get better? Like, I can't even say that he's even impressed upon his high octane, high line style. Like, he's not even doing that. Like, like, what's happening since he's come there? So it's just like, is it an Ange problem? It might even just be a club problem because obviously you just got rid of Nuno. You know, I don't necessarily blame Ange for that, but I'm just saying there's absolutely nothing to support keeping him in the job. So if he did get sacked as quickly as he got hired, you could just maybe chalk that off to, okay, that was probably an erroneous hire from Nottingham Forest. It's
a rebound, isn't it? Because I don't think Ange is ready. I think he needs more time off. So it's probably a rebound for both of them. And you know what I mean?
He's a Greek manager of the year or something stupid. That award
there's only like five Greek managers in the world, bro.
Yeah.
But I do think though, like I do think if you do hire someone, I think you should get like I think you should, especially if you've been hired in midway through the season. I do think you should at least get to see out that season.
You reckon? Do you know what? It should be as arbitrary as if you have a new bounce run, then you get to see out the season. If you don't get a new bounce, bro, you gotta go, bro.
Okay.
If
you're doing that, Ange, you reckon the rules should be broken?
Or no, if you're doing a Ruben Amorim, because he didn't have a new bounce, did he?
Not really.
Did Van Nistelrooy have a new manager bounce?
Yeah, Van Nistelrooy did. Van Nistelrooy did.
Yeah. It might be worth studying to see what happens with managers that have a new manager bounce and managers that don't, and whether they should be given time in the job if they don't have it, bro. Because like, if I can't motivate you for this,
bounce when he went to, who did he go to after? Was it Leicester?
Leicester, and then
that's right.
He didn't have a new manager bounce there, and then he didn't last well. He didn't last long there.
No, he lasted till the end of the season. Obviously, he got.
But apparently they did want to keep him though, but he didn't want to be in the Championship.
The cheeky bastard.
Yeah.
No, that's fair. That's fair, bro. Like, Leicester were destined for the
relegated.
No, he didn't get the relegated. Leicester were always going to get relegated, bro. They didn't sign nobody, bro. Like, even if they had Arteta, bro, they're going down as well, bro.
But then obviously, if we switch it and then think that obviously some clubs do actually benefit from early intervention, especially like a Chelsea, especially when Chelsea were under Tuchel when he came in 2021, for instance. So I guess does it depend on the club you're at? Because obviously Chelsea have that mentality of switching up managers.
Chelsea they have the infrastructure to be able to switch up managers quickly because they've been doing it for so long. Funnily enough, I don't know how long since Ferguson. Who's the longest manager at United? Sorry,
Jose, right?
At United,
yeah.
I don't know.
Jose. Has to be Jose.
Might be Jose. Yeah.
So,
Jose,
and then how many managers have you had? It's been like 7, I think, right?
Yeah.
So technically, you guys should be able to get rid of a manager and get back in, but you kind of been progressively getting worse as you've sacked your managers. Whereas, but you have been delivering, you've been delivering silverware in the meantime.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Chelsea has been. Like Chelsea is not that different to Man United because they have been delivering silverware, but they've not shown any stability. So maybe
it's because our system changes all the time. Like with every manager, we're trying to do something different than what we done previously, and that ties into also the players that we're signing. Jose had a particular style, very similar to similar to Chelsea in terms of like big, strong guys that can get about the pitch, like the Matix frame, for instance. And then you look at someone like Ollie, for instance, who had a completely different style with obviously the midfield pivots, for instance. So that's one thing that has set us back even more than probably we should be, is that there hasn't been any consistency in terms of like the hiring of the managers and making sure that the managers essentially match the players that we actually have as well. Where for instance, like Liverpool, use the Klopp and the Slot example, they didn't hire Ruben because Ruben was so far away from what Klopp was doing, and Slot seems to allegedly is more akin to what Klopp was, and we haven't had that direction.
And you don't even have to look too far in like a Brighton since they've been up in the Prem. Apart from when they sacked Houghton, where everyone had like an outrage about it because of what he'd done, all of the managers, they've just been replaced and they just continue doing what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because I think that might be the reason why some clubs are maybe too loyal to underperforming managers out of fear that they may become, may have the instability, the fear of instability. I think that's like with clubs nowadays. Obviously, if you're losing every game, then you're going to have to make some kind of change, but they don't want to change like the whole dynamic of something, because again, you might sack your manager, pay them off, bring in a new manager. It could be the same.
But back to Nottingham Forest quickly. They sacked the manager. I can say they did a Tottenham. Yeah, they sacked the manager, and it's more or less done like a 180 in getting a manager that's completely opposite to what the other manager was doing in the first place. So I personally think Ange should be given more time, but I think it is in their interest to get rid of him just because of the circumstance, because the personnel that they have at Nottingham Forest, they're not used to his style of playing. If they're not picking up now, before you know it, you might lose a few runner games, your confidence goes and you're down there again. Apparently they're interested in Deitch.
Yeah.
Which? No, it'll work for their system because
it made more sense, didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, but ironically, you got rid of I forget his name now.
Nuno.
You got rid of Nuno, that's his style. You brought in a manager which is opposite to his style. Tony could do a 180 or do a 360.
Stupid.
But they need to do otherwise. Yeah, it may not work out. But I do think managers should be given a lot more than 7 games.
Yeah, for sure. All right, cool. Before we wrap it up, obviously, just looking ahead, Prem's back soon at the end of the week. Molly, if I just go to you, what are you thinking before I go to Joey with Man United playing Liverpool away? Does Ruben have to get some kind of result?
I mean, well, yeah, absolutely.
Would you take a draw?
Yeah, for sure. Away from Anfield, yeah, for sure. A draw would be a decent result. I don't know what to expect from this club at the minute. I mean, we've got the team whereby we should be getting better results, I think. So who knows if Man United turn up and play like they should play, it could go either way. So we'll see.
What about you, Joey? Obviously, Liverpool's form.
Yeah, sorry, quick one. When you say play how you should play, what does that look like for you?
So if, for instance, like the players like De Ligt has a good game, the players like Wembley has a good game, Cunha has a good game, Bruno has a good game. I mean, we could win the game. Is what I'm saying.
He needs to start Lemons as well. He needs to start Lemons for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I agreed.
It's a bit of a tricky one. I'd be expecting us to win because we're at Anfield, but and then United haven't really done anything to us in Anfield for some time. But I think United will be encouraged by what they've seen from Chelsea, Crystal Palace, and Galatasaray to go for the game. I think Mbeumo could probably do some damage because he's done a bit of damage to us, man. I think Cunha is other 007 who's been challenging Wirtz but been getting off scot-free. So I'm not expecting, but he's also somebody who's done loads of damage to Liverpool in the past as well. So there are players there, and Man United historically get up for it against the traditional top 6. Well, I say Liverpool and Arsenal, actually, not even the traditional top 6, Liverpool and Arsenal. So this is a great opportunity for both teams, and we're both coming off of the international break. So this one's very hard for me to call. but we should at least be leaving there with a clean sheet, in my opinion. But who knows, man? Who knows? So I'm just gonna say a draw.
Yeah, I'll go. I would say a draw is the minimum that Ruben needs to get. And the thing is, with the way I see it is, even if Ruben was to lose that game, Man United need to play well. So, like, for instance, if we come off the back of that game and it's like a 3-0 spanking, this guy has the writing on the wall.
Really, though, even though Liverpool, obviously, we're not at our greatest right now in terms of match performance levels, but even though we're technically still the champions from last season, do you still think that this will be a game where it will be judged harshly on if doesn't go the right way?
Yeah, it's Liverpool. It's Liverpool. The fans ain't trying to hear all that. It's Liverpool, so you've got to turn up in these games, even if just put in a good performance and show like you want to be on the pitch. And that's obviously what been a massive critique on the Man United players at the minute, is that they look like they don't want to be there. So yeah, you just.
Well, what about good performance and 3-0?
I don't even know what that means.
What does that mean? You lose 3-0, but we play right.
Yeah, bro. No, it happens, bro. It happens. Like, let's say, for example, Szoboszlai bangs a free kick from far. It's like quick goals, but you don't play well. You're pressing us. Same as Arsenal, because the Arsenal game could have been. They could have scored 3 goals from set pieces, really and truly. But you don't played well in that game. But let's say it went the same way.
If it was an isolated instance, then yeah, for sure, I would hear what you're saying. But the fact of the matter is, we've done that against Arsenal. We've used that credit against Arsenal. A good performance with an L. We've used that credit against Fulham. Good performance, but we didn't win. Like we can't use it for more than 5 times in the season.
So essentially, it's crunch time for Amorim. Yeah,
it's crunch time, man.
And 3-0 is a bit too hefty, I would say. Maybe
3-1.
Nah, even 2-1. 2-1, then he could, if we had a good performance, then he could be let off. But yeah, if it's like whitewashing scores, even with a good performance, it's not going to fly, man. It's not going to fly. All right, Strives, obviously, if we move to you guys have Fulham away. Fulham can sometimes be a little bit tricky. But I assume that, you're going to go there for the win.
Yeah, I mean, Fulham, we've got a couple of Arsenal boys there, or shall I say ex-Arsenal boys there. So that makes the fixture interesting somewhat. Do they have something to prove? You know what I mean? Like, you're going up against your old club. You just naturally, you get up for it a little bit more. And Fulham's not been a straightforward fixture in our last, I'd say, 5 or so meetings. I feel like it's been we've won twice, we've drawn twice, we've lost once in the last 5 fixtures. But away from home, we tend to be all right at Fulham. I know that I think we've lost to them and drawn with them in probably the last 2 away games, if my memory serves me correctly. But I think when I was doing some research into the game prior, I think that we'd won like most of our away games there. So it's a fixture I'd expect Arsenal to be winning, and especially the position that Arsenal found themselves in, where now we're top of the Premier League, we're top of the table. We want to keep that position, and right now you want to put the cat amongst the pigeons. You want to show that you are primed to be champions by way of picking up where you left off and continuing as you mean to go on. Games against Fulham, you can't be having slip-ups there, especially when you look at what seems like they're going to be your direct rivals in Liverpool, going up against Manchester United. And as much as Manchester United, you might have your opinions on what Manchester United represent in today's day and age, that's never an easy fixture for anybody, especially for Liverpool. Like Joey said, when Liverpool go up against United, expect a game. When Arsenal go up against United, expect a game. So we've got to be looking at that as that could be a potential banana peel for Liverpool. We can't be, and we kick off the return to the Prem. Like we play on Friday evening. So we set the tone. If we set the tone with a nice win, you know what I mean? You get some rest. We need to be winning that game. Like I think it's a big fixture. Although it might come across straightforward, it could easily be one that goes against us. So like Friday night lights away from home, it could be a tricky fixture, but it's one that we have to win, in my opinion. And And as you said, Dre, man, I expect to win.
We saying Fulham games on Friday? No, it's not on Friday.
Yeah. I thought it was Saturday as well.
Yeah, Saturday for
Was it
first.
Saturday?
Late one. I think
Yeah.
it's I think it's
Yeah,
a late one.
because it's international break, they wouldn't do it on a Friday. They got to give you as much time as possible
No
when
way.
you
know
get
what?
back.
My bad. You know what? I thought the 18th was Friday. What 18th is Saturday? Oh
Yeah.
19th
But
is
it's the
Sunday.
late. I think it's that late kickoff as well.
Yeah,
but
5:30
So
kickoff.
it's an evening kickoff on Saturday.
Yeah.
So all right, so strike that off that in terms of the Friday thing and kicking off the Premier League return. But even still, Saturday Night Lights, I still think it's got similar like weighting as a Friday. I think evening kickoffs in general, like they're like feature games, isn't it? Everyone's at home, everyone's sat down. Your 3 p.m. kickoffs is as transpired, and sometimes and then the pressure now is okay, cool. Like, I think City play on Saturday, do they?
Yeah, City on Saturday and then Liverpool and United on the Sunday. So
Yeah. I would have figured that Liverpool and Man United would have been a Sunday game. So City would have played on a Saturday. So City have an opportunity to close the gap or probably go top of the table, and we have to respond immediately. You get what I mean? But yeah, man, it's we have to win, man. We have to win. Like we have to win every game. Like it goes without saying. But you see these ones here, you've just got to the top of the table. Now it's like, can you deal with the pressure? Win this game, Arsenal.
That's sending a big message for you as well, isn't it? Or like
it does, man. It does, especially because right now there's a lot being made about Arsenal squad depth, and we've had some unfortunate news that it looks like Odegaard's out for an extra month, or he ain't coming back till November. Like, so he's gonna miss probably like our next 9 games. So we've had a couple of other injuries now, and a lot of people think Arsenal are the best side in the league at the moment, and not because we've shown anything in the first couple of games, but more so because of the quality and depth that we've had, plus what we've shown something, but not that we've shown anything like magnificent, but we've shown resilience, we've shown a consistency, we've shown an ability to control games. And we still have a lot to still see. Like we still have a lot to see from Saka, in my opinion, from Gyökeres, in my opinion. Martinelli seems to be finding his feet. We still got to see a bit more from Trossard, in my opinion. Kai Havertz, I think
healthy competition, man. I think that's helping.
Yeah. And I think Havertz might be back now. I think Nkapé could be back now. So yeah, it's just exciting times. We want to pick up from where we left off. We want to show that the squad depth is what it is, and we want to prove all these people right. They're saying that Arsenal are favourites to win the league, so let's prove it with a emphatic and convincing win against Fulham, man.
Yeah, because it is a bit of a corker weekend. Obviously, we've got City, like you said, City play Everton. Obviously, they're playing at home, but still be like.
Oh, Dre, you're cutting out again.
Your audio, Dre.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there you go.
Brighton versus Newcastle, Della. What do you think about that one? Should Newcastle be taking the points? Brighton at home, picking up a bit of form.
Stop asking this guy about Newcastle, bruv.
He's asking me. I'm just answering. Okay, I don't want to get rude. It'll be a tricky game. So I don't know. Yeah, that's all I can say to it. I think it'll be a tricky game, especially being away. But Newcastle are picking up form, so hopefully they'll get something out of it. Ask someone about Chelsea.
Yeah, Nottingham Forest, Chelsea.
What Chelsea?
Walimar.
What do you mean, why Chelsea? What do you mean, why Chelsea? Go on.
Why Chelsea though? What Chelsea? What am I missing?
Well, you know why, Bobby? He ain't forgiving you,
bro.
What are we doing here?
What? Because I put them more than I put them third. Is that why? All right.
Yeah. How they doing?
Who they playing?
Nottingham Forest away.
They're gonna win because Andrew's there. What more do you want from me?
Yeah, for real.
Concise.
Was that the game that gets him sacked? Maybe. And then obviously Palace play Bournemouth. That'll be a good game.
Who's at home? I ain't seen Palace.
Selhurst Park. So Palace at home.
Okay.
And then obviously you got Tottenham v Aston Villa. So you got a good few games coming up in the Prem.
Aston Villa picking up form as well. Aston Villa's picking up form every time they do well. One girl, she is a avid Aston Villa fan. She'll message me going, "Hey, have you watched Aston Villa?" I'm like, "No," but because she said it a couple of times now, like I have actually noticed Aston Villa seem to be picking up some form. So that'll be an interesting game against Tottenham. So I'll be hoping Villa do some damage just to knock any wind out of Tottenham's the wind out of their sails. I swear we've got Tottenham soon as well.
Yeah, for sure. All right, quickly, let's round it up with the back pages. Can be a team or club or player. Doesn't have to be within football that we think has come to the forefront of the back page and stood out for us. It doesn't have to be in football, obviously being International Week. But let's start. Who wants to go first? Let's put it out there. Who wants to go first?
Okay. But you got one. But I was going to say Frank Lampard for Coventry. I don't know if I gave it last week. Well, anyway, Frank Lampard Coventry. He's doing well, man. Yeah, and they're
Finally
a ridiculous amount of goals as well. So yeah, well done to him. Flowers do.
I want to say honorable mention to someone, but I don't know if Strides are going to mention him, so I won't say it. But seeing as it's internationals, I'll give it to Voltamada because he scored his first senior goal for Germany.
Strides.
Today was that his first goal today?
Yeah, senior goal. Yeah.
Okay.
I want to honourable mention to Duran Ennis for an emphatic performance on the weekend. First debut at 154 weight division. But for the listeners and viewers that probably ain't that looked into boxing, that ain't going to make too much sense to you. So my back page is going to Bukayo Saka. What a freaking finish, bro. What a goal, bro. What a goal. Like, that's how you tell a man, shut your mouth. You know?
I thought you were going to give it to Jack Wilshere. That's why I didn't mention it.
Jack Wilshere, big him up for getting a Luton job as well, man.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, big
That's
him up,
a
man.
big move.
That's,
Big look.
that is large still. That is large.
Joey?
Hugo Ekitike.
What did you do?
I don't know, man. I watched the highlights of the Azerbaijan game, and the link up between him and Mbappe was looking crazy still. So obviously, you might get some wondering of what could happen if he was to link up with Isak and Mbappe. It's not gonna happen, man. But let's pray, man. All we can do is pray, bro.
I was gonna give mine honorable mention has to go to Ricky Hatton. Rest in peace for the people in boxing that know him. It was a great fighter. Obviously, we sadly lost him. But yeah, had a few great fights that I went back and watched on YouTube. He's
they buried him on Friday, didn't they?
Yeah.
Okay, I was going to ask that question. Okay.
Yeah, so I'll give it to him in the boxing world, and then Strives already had my one. I gave it to Saka. This guy's instrumental. Tuchel can't leave this guy out of the team. Probably one of England's best players at the moment in banging form. And just looking back to the Prem this weekend. So it's been great chopping it with you. Apologies about my mic. I'm not sure why. I need to check this. It's infuriated me a little bit. But catch us on the socials. Insta at Podcast Pundits _ and on X at Podcast Pundits _ and then on TikTok at Podcast Pundits. Give us a like, give us a follow, give us a comment. We'll be back at the same time, same place next week. We out.